Oh. This is Sharp Witted, and this is the definition of comedy. What's the definition of comedy?
Motherfucker.
Comedy is when something is funny and makes you laugh. It could be a joke, a story, a show, a movie, or anything else that makes you happy. Comedy could be different for different people because we all like different things.
Nice.
Some people laugh at silly things, and some people laugh at smart things. Some people laugh at bad things, and some people laugh at good things. Some people have tried to explain why comedy is funny, but they did not agree. They're called thinkers and philosophers. They have different ideas about comedy. Some think comedy is a way of fixing our mistakes and problems, while others think comedy is a way of showing our differences and talents. Some think comedy is funny because it surprises us.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
While others think comedy is funny because it reminds us of something. But comedy is a complex and subjective phenomenon that resists a simple explanation. It is hard to explain, but easy to enjoy. You want to know what comedy is, right?
I got you, homie. Let's go.
Well, first you have to ask yourself, why comedy is so hard to explain? The answer is easy. Comedy is hard to explain because sometimes we need to laugh at things that don't make sense. Think about what we do when we define something. We use words to draw lines around something that we see in the crazy world around us. We say what it means and how it fits with other things that mean something. Crazy becomes clear. The world becomes a big puzzle that we can solve. And let's be real, we need some order in this mess, or else we would go nuts. Something that we call reality.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Here we go again.
Now think about words and truth and how they're all tied together like a knot. And let's go back to thinking about what's funny, because some people say it's very simple. Truth is funny. It's funny because it's true. But that's not true.
So that was a f***ing lie.
A lot of lies are funny. Funny stories can be made up. Silly words that don't mean anything can make us laugh a lot. For example, slompy.
What?
Slompy.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And a lot of truths are not even funny. 2 + 2 is really 4.
Nice job, team.
But that doesn't make me giggle. You could tell a true story, but your date may not smile. So why are some lies and only some truths funny? How do these funny lies and truths connect to the big truth, the puzzle of facts and definitions? And what makes any of them funny? Do you like stories?
I don't think you have the facilities for
I
that, big
bet.
man.
Stories are fun and exciting. They can take us to different places and times and make us meet different people. Some stories are funny, some are scary, some are sad, and some are all of them at once. There was a man from Italy who wrote a very long and funny story. His name was Dante Alighieri, and he was a poet. A poet is a person who writes words that rhyme or sound nice together, and sometimes tell stories or express feelings. Dante wrote a story called The Divine Comedy, which is about his journey through hell, purgatory, and heaven. He meets many people along the way, some good and some bad, and he makes fun of them for their sins and mistakes.
Daddy, chill.
He also makes fun of himself and his own problems. Dante wrote his story in a funny and clever way, using jokes, puns, sarcasm, irony, and references to things that people knew about in his time. He said he wrote his story to show people the right way to live and to love God. Dante called his story a comedy because it had a happy ending, unlike a tragedy, which has a sad ending. Now let's go forward in time to Germany, where there was another philosopher named Immanuel Kant. He was very smart and wrote about many things, like morality, religion, politics, and aesthetics. He also wrote a little bit about comedy, but not much. He was more interested in another kind of writing called critique, which is about the limits and conditions of human knowledge and reason. Kant had a very important rule called the categorical imperative, which is the basis of ethics. Ethics is a way we decide what is right and what is wrong. The categorical imperative says that we should act only according to rules that we can will to be universal laws. For example, if I say I should lie and make it a universal law, that doesn't make sense, because then everyone would lie and no one would trust each other. That would be wrong. Do you see the difference between these two men? Dante was playful and creative, while Kant was serious and rational. Dante liked to laugh at things that were wrong or silly, while Kant liked to find out what was right or reasonable. Dante used his imagination to explore different worlds, while Kant used his logic to examine this world. Which one do you like better? There's no right or wrong answer here.
Again.
They both had something valuable to say about comedy and life, but maybe we can learn from both of them, to be funny and wise at the same time. The funny contradictions. But what if I told you that comedy loves contradictions? Comedy loves to break the rules of logic and shows us things that don't make sense or don't match with reality. We laugh when we see something unexpected or surprising, like when we see someone act differently than we expect them to, or when we notice something weird that we usually don't talk about, or when cats play piano, because cats are not supposed to play piano. That's funny, right? Comedy shows us the reality is not always as simple or orderly as we think it is. Sometimes there are flaws, gaps, overlaps, and conflicts in the way we see the world and ourselves. And when we think too highly of our thinking, when we think things are true just because we say they are true and stop adapting, we become the joke of the universe. Comedy is like a game that makes us laugh. It plays with our logic and shows us things that don't make sense or don't fit with reality. It doesn't have a clear rule or definition, because it changes all the time and surprises us. It can make fun of anything and anyone, especially those who think they know everything and are always right. They are not always right. They're just silly. Comedy shows us the reality is not always what we think it is, and that we should be more open and flexible. That's what we learned today in this talk. We learned how comedy works by showing us contradictions and disruptions in reality. We learned why laughter is good for us, because it helps us bond with each other and correct our mistakes. We learned how comedy can challenge our thinking and make us more flexible and human. And we learned how comedy can be fun and enjoyable, even when it's about serious topics. Thank you for listening, and I hope you had some laughs along the way. Sincerely, Sharp Witted.